In deciding to come for this conference, it's a very momentous occasion, particularly for GMAT. I think, as you may be aware, the issue of climate change, land degradation and desertification has risen from just an environmental issue to a serious developmental issue. So in that respect, there is, as a company that is involved in consulting, and as a company that supports innovation for sustainability, it is critical that we be part of such an occasion in order to also advance the knowledge that we have gathered over the years in terms of the work towards adapting to climate change.
And can you give us a sense of what GMAT do? Your almost slogan is innovation for sustainability. So give us a sense about how that informs your decisions when you are working in Harare and in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, in our work in terms of innovation for sustainability, we are a knowledge company, and a company that is guided by creating knowledge, bringing knowledge together for the different clients that we have, and in delivering that, we provide technical assistance to various organizations, including both state and non-state actors, the civil society, the NGOs, and governments. So we strive to bring to our clients the best practices in terms of the delivery of their different services to their beneficiaries at the end of the day.
And we've been hearing a lot at this conference about the state of farming, agriculture, land degradation in Africa. We're in Namibia. Can you give us a sense about the level of environmental awareness and the level of interest in these issues in Zimbabwe?
Definitely, there is the issue of land degradation. The issue of climate change is a global issue, and Zimbabwe is no exception. And in particular, being a developing country, Zimbabwe, I think, needs to map up a way of how to manage these vulnerabilities and risks in terms of posed by the land degradation and climate change. And also there is need to bring the new thinking and world best practice in trying to come up with ways to adapt to the changing climate. And of particular interest, particularly maybe to GMAT, is coming up with ways of assessing the economic costs of climate change adaptation. A lot of interventions are being done in order to mitigate and adapt to the effects of climate change. But what is about how do we put a dollar sign to it at the end of the day? Because as policymakers and development practitioners, we are supposed to then, we need to come up with, we need at the end of the day to see the economic effects or the economic costs of what we are doing. So in that respect, we have been doing work in trying to see how best we assess the economic cost of climate change adaptation, particularly looking at cost-benefit analysis.
That's an interesting point, and there's been a lot of talk in the past day about the economic impacts and why certain aspects of land degradation need to be valued. Do you feel, from your perspective, that that aspect, the fact that it is important? Do you need to know how much degradation and issues with the environment are going to cost in order to get an effective decision from governments?
Indeed, we need to know the costs, because without a knowledge of how much it is going to cost us, then it will be difficult to make the decision and even move, even advocate for any change. So I think at the end of the day, whatever intervention we have to do, we need to have an idea of what is the cost. And I know some of the costs are very difficult to put a dollar sign to. For example, just saving the environment for the future generations is difficult to put a dollar sign to it. I think the value is priceless. But at least we need an idea of the cost and also the benefits of the intervention that we are making. And also I think at the policy level, the governments need to at least have a clear idea of what are the costs of action, and even the cost of not taking no action. Those have to be made very clear, and it is through such economic assessments which as Jimat Development Consultants are involved in, and are keen to assist anyone, the donors, the governments, and other NGOs in coming up with that kind of an assessment, which should then inform their strategies and decision making, and also resource allocation.
Okay, and I guess the final point in terms of the work that you do, what really characterises GMAT in terms of the work you do? Is there anything in particular you could put your finger on in terms of your desire to ensure that all new projects are, I don't know, environmentally sustainable or low carbon, or perhaps respect indigenous peoples? Give us a sense about what sort of makes GMAT stand out.
Yeah, in terms of the environmental sustainability, we support the work that is being done in order to ensure that business is done in a sustainable way, which is the reason why we are also here now, and also particularly as a partner in responding to climate change. We are motivated by the desire, by the fact that we know this what we have now is to be preserved for the future generations. Because actually, they say we borrow, we don't own anything, but we are borrowing what we have now from the future generations. So we need definitely to preserve to preserve that. And our vision is to be a consulting the firm of choice, the first choice provider of consulting services to the emerging economies and developing countries. And in order for us to achieve that, we obviously have to have an eye for the environment. We obviously have to have a desire to ensure that whatever we do is environmentally sound, and whatever the advice that we give to our clients is of environmental sound nature.